Started. We are live.
We are live, right?
Yes.
Welcome back. Welcome everyone to this interesting talk, which is actually related to the 5G. This webinar workshop, we will be looking into the basics of 5G and how the 5G will actually impact the industries and societies in the coming future. So before going to the details, I would like that everyone please join this webinar using this QR code. So you can scan this QR code using your mobile phone, or you can enter this ahaslides.com/2FA95. So from your mobile phones, just like open your mobile phone, go to the scanner, QR code scanner, and scan this. Or just enter this on your browser, ahaslides.com/2FA95. So after your participation, after your joining, we will move towards the actual seminar, actual contents of this presentation. So I'm looking forward for the participants to join me on this webinar by scanning this QR code. So right now, there is 0 participants. So I would request the attendees to scan this QR code to join this webinar, or can use this website address. Okay. So this address will be appearing on the top of the screen. So everybody who is joining now, okay. So I think we have 9 attendees here. So I got 1 here. Okay, very good. So I'm requesting everyone, okay, to scan this QR code or enter this information to join this, okay? Because we are going to have an interactive session, okay? We will be working together, we will be participating, and it will help us to learn something at the end of this seminar, okay? So I got 1 attendee here. 1 person has joined me. So we have 10 attendees. So I would request again, everybody to join this using this given information. Okay, just scan this QR code or enter this ahaslides.com. Okay, so those who have joined, let's move forward. Okay, the information about the joining is will be available on the top. Okay, so you can just click on the ahaslides.com and the given code, and you will be up. So moving back to the contents of this today presentation, we will be actually covering the background of 5G. What is 5G? How we actually reached to the 5th generation of the mobile networks. Working of 5G, how 5G actually works. What are the different antennas, technologies, which are being used and deployed for the operation in 5G? What are the main 5G features? And what is the impact of the 5G on the social values in the industry and the society? And right now where the actually 5G is available. So before moving, I have a question for you. So what comes in your mind when you think about 5G? So if you look at your mobile phone screen, or you can also join this using this given link, okay, or using this QR code. So join this and then you can answer. So I have 1 live attendee. So that attendee can open his mobile phone and just enter his answer, okay? Okay, very good. I got 2 attendees here. Okay, so just scan this QR code or just enter this, okay? So I have, very good. I got one answer here, okay? So when we think about 5G, we are looking for a smartphone, latest version, okay? So the more people join this, okay, it will be better. You can enter more answers, okay, already who have joined, okay? Okay, smart technology, very good, okay? So I'm looking for more participation, okay? What are the different things, what you think, what would be the word when we have 5G, okay? Only like even you, if you just think that what is 5G, what are the things which are coming in your mind? So again, those who are joining now, you can join this session, okay? On the top of the screen, you can look ahaslides.com/2fa95. So you can join this session by entering these details. Okay, so basically, if we just look at this cloud, so I got two main words here, okay? So welcome the third attendees. So please just give your input, whatever you think, whatever comes in your mind when you think about 5G. So rightly, the word which I can see here, okay, the populating my screen is smartphone, okay, smart technology, okay. So basically we are looking towards smart cities, smart world in the future. So that's what it's about 5G, okay. So now let's have a look, okay, what actually is 5G. So 5G is basically referred as the 5th generation of mobile wireless networks. Okay, so we are actually, this is a evaluation from the previous 4G long-term evaluation networks. Okay, why we are moving towards the 5G? Okay, 5G is basically designed, okay, for the connection of the large number of devices. As we are moving towards the IoT devices, okay, so we want enhanced mobile broadband network, okay. We have mission critical services, for example, drone technologies, for example, telemedicine. We talk about gaming industry, or we talk about Internet of Things, where like the billion of devices are connected together. So 5G is basically designed to meet this very large growth in data and connectivity of this modern world. So when we say about Internet of Things, so we are actually talking about billions of connected devices, okay? So when you have billion of connected devices, so you need very high data rate. You need very large bandwidth requirements so that all the devices, they can connect, they can communicate with each other, or they can communicate with the main controlling user, controlling software, or controlling platform. So that is basically the 5Gs. So moving forward, if we talk about the evaluation of the mobile technology, okay, so we actually start with the 1G in 1980s, okay. So 1G basically just used for the mobile phone calls, okay. So there was no onboard storage. You cannot like use SMS or other things in 1G. So it was only used for the calling purpose, voice calling. Then and there was zero data transfer. Okay, you cannot make any transfer of data using voice message or any transfer. So then in 1991, we got the 2G technology. So with the 2G technologies, we get a data rate of up to 40 kilobyte per second. So the SMS comes in the 2G technology. Okay, but again, there was no onboard storage like like in the modern mobile phones like we have today. Okay. So we can see that like you have inbuilt storage inside the mobile phone. So, but in 2G, there was no such features. In 1998, we got 3G technology, okay? So with the evaluation of the technology, we moved to high data rates. So 3G technology actually supports 21.6 megabit per second data rate transfer, okay? And it has the onboard storage of like less than 60 GB and 256 GB of memory. Then in 2008, the 4G technology was available for the commercial use, and 4G technology was supporting up to 1 gigabit per second. So most of the mobile phone which we are using in today's environments, they are actually supporting 4G. Okay, so with the 4G, we can get up to 1 gigabit per second data rate. Okay, so with the evaluation in 4G, we actually get 4G LTE, which was the 4G long-term evaluation. Okay, this was the advanced version of 4G, which was actually supporting more high data rate. Okay, now when we move to the 5G technology, so 5G will be supporting up to 20 gigabit per second, up to 20 gigabit per second. And 5G has been employed, okay, it has been used in the world since 2018, but still like the network is being involved, the technology is being scaled for the commercial use and for the future usage in the smart cities. So here I have a question for you. Okay, which mobile technology have you used? Okay, so again, the attendees, I would request them to join this webinar by entering this information, AHA slides, okay, or just scan this QR code and answer this question. Okay, scan this QR code or enter ahaslides.com so that you can join this webinar and you can participate. We are actually looking for an active participation session. Okay, so, okay, I got one answer, and that answer is basically support that attendees have used 2G mobile phone, 3G, 4G, and 5G. Okay, very good. Anybody else who want to participate? Okay, just to join, just go to ahaslides.com/ okay, 2FA95, okay, or scan this QR code. Okay, and you can join this and you can answer here. Okay. So basically, definitely, you guys might have not used 1G. Okay, you definitely have seen this Nokia mobile phone, which was very famous in 2G technology. And then comes the 3G, 4G, and 5G. Okay, so as I said earlier, as we are moving towards high technology, we are getting high data rate. Okay, we are moving towards faster speed. Okay, so now let's have a look at how basically 5G works. Okay, so basically the first thing when we talk about the working of 5G, we are talking about the spectrum of 5G. Spectrum means the frequency range in which 5G will work. Okay, so the conventional technologies which we are using right now, the mobile phone, the VR, okay, the gaming technology, the drones, they are basically working in 3 kilohertz to 6 gigahertz range. Okay, so when we talk about 5G, we need higher speed. So when we talk about high speed, we need high frequency for the high data rate transfer. So basically for the 5G technology, we will be moving in this spectrum, 6 gigahertz to 3 gigahertz range. So all these technologies, they will be moving towards this empty spectrum. Okay, so the new infrastructure, it should support higher frequency. That means we need much faster data rate. Okay, so if we just calculate the wavelength of frequency, so when we move to the high frequency, okay, when the frequency is high, the wavelength will be lower. So basically the 5G spectrum is called as millimeter waves, okay, because the wavelength of the frequencies in the 5G spectrum will be in millimeter range. And if we talk about the technologies of the antennas which are being used in the different mobile networks, okay, so the first one, okay, in the 1G mobile, okay, so in the mobile, there was a monopole antenna. So, okay, like if you have seen the old mobile phones, okay, so you have a mobile phone set and there was a small, just a line, just a structure which is popping out like here, okay, like here or like here. So these are basically the monopole antennas, okay. And then also we use the helix antennas, okay, and monopole and helix plus helix, both combined are used, okay. So basically these antennas were used in 1G or up to 2G technology, okay. And the purpose of the antenna is that antenna, the transfer the radiations, electromagnetic radiations, and connect your mobile phone with the main mobile tower, the main broadband network where you can actually communicate or you transfer your information. Okay, but with the evaluation in the mobile technologies, okay, we got different other kinds of antennas. Okay, so these days we are using PIFA, which is actually the planar inverted F antenna. So the shape of the antenna look like this one. Okay, so the advantage of the PIFA is it is easy to design. we can use for the multi-band operation. Okay, for example, the 2G technologies, okay, or like in the 3G, we were working at 980 megahertz. Okay, then we switched to 1.8 gigahertz. Okay, so the PIFA, if we can easily design for the multi-band operation, okay, so within a mobile, we don't have actually one antenna. We need the antenna for the Wi-Fi operation. We need the antenna for the Bluetooth operation. We need the antenna for the NFC, near field communication, which we actually use for the transfer, like the payment, okay, the mobile payment, mobile card, which is actually based on the near field communication. And so like for the different applications, we need antennas which are actually operating in different frequencies. Okay, so the PIFA or inverted F antenna, IFA, okay, they are easy, we can easily design them for the different bands. Okay, they have load SAR, okay, and also now the technology is actually designing printed monopoles. So lastly, we have the monopole in this form, okay. Now the monopoles are being designed in a printed form, like in a PCB, okay. And in some mobile phones, so basically they are using the chassis, the structure, the metallic structure of the mobile phone as an antenna. So this is the evaluation of the antenna technologies with the evaluation in the mobile technologies. So as I was saying earlier, okay, when we talk about the antenna requirements in a 5G system, so we need the antennas for the LTE communication, which is actually long-term evaluation communication. And if we talk about GCM or WCDM or LTE communication, okay, so these antennas are basically operating in the range of 7 megahertz to 6 gigahertz, okay. And we could have auxiliary antennas, and particularly for the 5G LTE communication, okay, we need antennas around 6 gigahertz. And 5G millimeter wave radio, okay, that is actually operating at 24 to 40 gigahertz. So we need a separate antenna. So as the frequency changes, so we could design one antenna which could support multi-band operation. Okay, for example, you can design one antenna which can operate in the GCM band. It can also operate in the LTE MIMO or 3 or MIMO 4 versions. Okay, but for example, you cannot design a very wide band antenna. Okay, for example, antenna which is operating from 6 gigahertz to 40 gigahertz. Okay, so it's not only like the design of the antenna. We have to put emphasis also on the operation of the antenna in terms of its radiation pattern. What is the efficiency of the antenna? What is the spectrum of the antenna? Okay, so for that, we actually have to move towards a different kind of antennas. So Bluetooth, it's actually usually operate at 2.4 gigahertz. So we need separate antenna for the Bluetooth. Near field communication, which is actually the modern way for the mobile card payments. So like you just go to the mart and you just scan your mobile phone. Okay, so you just open the card and scan. So that scanning is, payment transfer is actually happening at 13.56 megahertz, which is relatively low frequency, but still you need this antenna in the mobile phone. Okay, and for the RFID application and GPS we talk about, or GNSS we talk about, so we need separate antennas for everything. So basically inside of your mobile phone, okay, there are a lot of antennas which are actually placed at different locations. Okay, so the important thing is when we talk about frequency operations, so we also have to minimize that the interference between these two antennas should be minimum. Okay, so that their intended operation should not be disturbed. So when we talk about 5G, so in 5G, basically we have 4 basic configurations for the multiple antenna operations. So first one is called SISO. SISO is single input, single output network, that you have one transmitting antenna and you have one receiver antenna. Okay, so this single antenna is transmitting and this single antenna is receiving. That is a SISO network. Then we have a CMO network. CMO network is one antenna is transmitting, single antenna, multiple output, and multiple antennas, multiple mobile networks are receiving. For example, you have a broadband network, the Wi-Fi network. Okay, so there is a kind of one router which is transmitting the data, and you have different mobile phones which are connected to that router. So that is basically the example of CMO. Then we have multi-input and single output network. Okay, so there are multiple antennas, okay, which are transmitting. For example, there is a one GPS antenna, Wi-Fi antenna, Bluetooth antenna, okay, that is transmitting the information, and your mobile phone is receiving that. Okay, so that is called multiple input, single output network. Then we have MIMO. So MIMO is multiple input, multiple output. Okay, So in this MIMO technology, what is happening? You have multiple transmitter and multiple receiver. So this is basically the requirement of the 5G. So in 5G, like if you talk about Internet of Things or smart cities, there will be multiple devices which are connected, which are communicating with each others. Okay, so we need MIMO technologies for that. And how the MIMO technology works, how actually the 5G works. So basically in 5G, you have an antenna. Okay, for example, this is your 5G tower. Okay, and that 5G tower is transmitting the radio waves, electromagnetic waves. Okay, but as I said earlier, in 5G, we are dealing with the millimeter waves. Okay, so in the millimeter waves, there are a couple of issues. As the frequency increases, so basically the frequency loss become higher. Okay, so the millimeter waves can cover only a short distance. Okay, they cannot propagate inside the buildings. Okay, for example, if you go to the basement of your building or inside the room of your building, so the 5G signals will drop. Okay, and these millimeter waves, RF signals, are highly impacted by the environment. For example, rain started or we have a storm, okay, or any environmental change, so that also affects the operation of the 5G network. So what is the solution of this? Solution is smart cells. So smart cells are basically are represented like these are the small cells in the network. So you have a main mobile tower, 5G, okay, that is actually transmitting the 5G signals, okay. Now, because we have these issues of short distance, okay, we will place these small cells, okay, or smart towers, okay. They are actually basically receiving these 5G signals and then they are communicating to the nearby devices, okay, like here, and like here. For example, if you talk about you move to the stadium and you are watching a football match, okay, you have large number of users, okay, which want to connect for example, they all want to go live, they want to go for the live streaming. So you need high data rate. You don't want any loss in the network. You don't need any interruption in the network. So for that, now we use the smart cells. So we can place multiple smart cells around that stadiums. Okay, so that will ensures the connectivity. There should be no buffering. There should be no drop in the network. Okay, so the advantage of the smart cells is they are miniaturized. Okay, they have small size. They are portable. You can install them wherever you want. They consume less energy. So it means they have longer life and easy installation. Okay, so for example, if you install in a crowded space, for example, in a mall or in a stadium or like in a concert, so you can easily install the smart cell around that, and that will ensure the good connectivity and high data rate. So as I was talking about MIMO, multiple input, multiple output. So basically in the 5G, we have massive MIMO. Massive MIMO means, okay, so this is our tower, 5G MIMO. Okay, so that is the tower which is actually transmitting the electromagnetic waves. Okay, so for example, here you can see, so this is the mobile tower which is actually transmitting the electromagnetic waves. Okay, so and there are different devices. For example, there is a car. Okay, so there is a person whose mobile phone wants to connect with the 5G network. This car, okay, they want to connect GPS or they want to connect radio services or other Bluetooth services. They want to connect with the network or broadband network. There are home users. They also want to connect. So basically 5G antenna will have a separate beam, okay, for each user. Okay, for example, this is our office and different office. This office will have a separate network, separate electromagnetic beam for its operation. This office will have a separate, this user will have a separate. So this is called beam farming. Okay, so beam farming help us to provide faster speed to each user. Okay, for example, in 4G, okay, we have, for example, if you want to connect to the broadband network, the Wi-Fi network, so we are connecting to a one beam network. Okay, so but in 5G, the 5G antenna will have very small antennas. Okay, for example, greater than 1,000 small antennas in one structure. So each antenna will actually providing the connectivity to each user. So this will ensure that every user is getting dedicated network with high speed and low latency. So let's watch a small video that how basically the beam farming works in MIMO network for the 5G.
To Today's cellular antennas broadcast information in every direction at once, and all of those crossing signals could cause serious interference. Beamforming is like a traffic signaling system for cellular signals. Instead of broadcasting in every direction, it would allow a base station to send a focused stream of data to a specific user. This precision prevents interference, and it's way more efficient. That means stations could handle more incoming and outgoing data streams at once. Here's how it works. Say you're in a cluster of buildings and you're trying to make a phone call. Your signal is ricocheting off of surrounding buildings and crisscrossing with other signals from users in the area. A massive MIMO base station receives all of these signals and keeps track of the timing and the direction of their arrival. It then uses signal processing algorithms to triangulate exactly where each signal is coming from and plots the best transmission route back through the air to each phone. Sometimes it'll even bounce individual packets of data in different directions, off of buildings or other objects to keep signals from interfering with each other. The result is a coherent data stream sent only to you.
Okay, so that was an interesting video about that, how basically 5G, the beamforming works. Okay, now if we talk about the 5G features, so the first one is the speed. Okay, so we are moving towards very high speed network. Okay, for example, if you want to download a 2-hour movie, okay, you want to download. Okay, so like if you move like 5 years to 10 years back, so usually we download the movies or our favorite show, whatever you want to watch, and then we watch, because the speed of the network was very low and it takes longer time in buffering. Okay, so if you are downloading a 2-hour movie on a 3G network, which actually supports 384 kilobytes per second, okay, in 2001, it will take 26 hours. With 4G technology, which is supporting 100 megabit per second rate, okay, in 2003, okay, we can download that movie in 6 minutes. But if we talk about 5G, which we are available now, okay, in some like countries, including UAE, okay, it's offering speed up to 10 gigabit per second. So you can download that movie, okay, in 3.6 seconds. So actually now we don't need to download that movie. If you have very high speed, you can go for just like watching online. You don't have to even download. So like we have the streaming giants now, like YouTube, we talk about Netflix or other streaming giants. So you are actually just opening, you just click on that movie and start watching, because your network is offering very high speed. So basically the 4G network, it is 500 times faster than the 3G network, okay? And the 5G network is actually 100 times more faster than the 4G network. So we are actually talking about speed of 10 gigabit per second transfer in 5G, okay? The other advantage of the 5G network is latency. So latency is basically the time between assessing an event and the response to it, okay? For example, you want to control your smart fridge, okay, with your mobile phone, okay? For example, what are the items that has been used and you want to place a new order, okay? So the smart fridge want to communicate the order that these are the missing things which you should order on your mobile phone, okay? So you need very fast response, okay? So the time taken by, for example, you are sending a signal to your smart fridge and it is responding to you. So that time is called latency, okay? So if you talk about the 5G technology, okay, so the latency is around 1 millisecond, okay? So it will take around 1 millisecond for the communication between two devices. And when we talk about 5G, the Internet of Things or smart cities, where hundreds of or thousands or billion of devices will be connected together. So the latency becomes very important issue, because if you are getting late response, okay, it means the the thing which you want to perform, it will become difficult, okay? So 4G system, the latency was 20 to 30 millisecond, okay? With the 5G enhanced mobile broadband, we get around 4 to 5, okay? And with the advancement in the 5G technology, we are actually going for ultra reliable low latency communication, which will support the latency of 1 millisecond. Okay, so we can achieve the low latency in 5G through significant advances in mobile device technology and mobile network. So we need the advancement in both things, the mobile device technology and also the backbone network Okay, so both should be advanced, both should have advanced features so that they can support this feature of low latency. Another advantage of the 5G is the bandwidth. Okay, so 5G will have greater bandwidth. What does this mean? It means we can handle many more connected devices than previous networks. Okay, so that means no more party services when you are in a crowded area. Okay, for example, right now, if you went to, for example, as I said earlier, watching a football match or to a concert, and if you want to, like using 4G networks, if you try to connect your mobile phones, so the number of users on that network increases in that particular area. So it increases load on that network. And sometimes, okay, you feel that your mobile is not connected with your network. Like even in your home, okay, if like for example 10 or 15 people try to connect with your home network at the same time, so you will experience that you are having internet issues. Your speed has been decreased. You are taking more time to open the YouTube video. Okay, so that thing will be gone in 5G. Okay, so 5G will enable more connected devices. Okay, like smart toothbrush and self-driving cars. Okay, smart fridges, you are talking about smart homes, smart cities, Internet of Things, sensors, wireless sensors, all things will be connected together. Okay, and they can connect together when you are offering more bandwidth for that. So 5G will deliver up to 1,000 more capacity than 4G. So the example of the Internet of Things, okay? So with the 5G, the number of devices that can be connected to the network will increase greatly, okay? So in the future, we are actually talking about million year scale per square kilometer devices, okay? So there will be kind of million or billion devices which will be connected, okay? Which is actually the requirement of IoT, okay? So we can anticipate basically a common smart home will have 100 of connected devices, okay? Like your AC, your fridge, your, we talk about your like smart toothbrush, you want to turn on your light, or all of the appliances in your home, okay? So they will be connected in real time. So this greater number of connected devices will allow the smart cities and autonomous cars, okay? So that is basically 5G will support that thing. So these are some examples for the possible use cases examples. Okay, so for example, 5G can support, like it started with the enhanced mobile broadband network in 2019. Then in 2020, we are actually moving towards the wireless access. In 2021, okay, we are expecting high speed up to 10 gigabit per second and low latency up to 10 millisecond. And it can be used in the like smart homes and public safety, like the different offices, okay, in the urban areas. And in the future, in 2020, okay, they are actually looking for smart factories for the real-time control and remote control operation. They are looking for VR, okay, virtual reality. The gaming industry, it's moving to the virtual reality, okay. We are looking for virtual reality in healthcare. For example, a doctor is sitting in UAE, it can perform the operation on a patient in USA, okay, using 5G technology, okay. So if it want to perform the operation, actually this is happening in telemedicine. Okay, so the network should be very strong. It should have very high speed. It should have very high bandwidth so that it can perform the real-time operation. And that is happening, and it will be evolving in the near future. Okay, and if we talk about autonomous cars, smart cars, driverless cars, which is actually the future. Okay, many companies are actually working on this. Okay, so that autonomous cars will require very low latency. Okay, and for those operation, reliability is also very important. So if you want to, like in 2024 in the future, okay, we are going for real-time banking. Okay, we are going for energy and utility. Okay, we are talking about widespread IoT devices, smart cities in agriculture. Okay, so those things are being, like the network is being evolving for that. Okay, in the near future, this will be happening. And if we talk about industries, that how 5G will impact the industries. So basically the manufacturing industry is expected to advance rapidly through faster and effective inspection due to predictive intelligence enabled by 5G. Okay, so if you talk about in the industries now, they are actually moving towards more and more robotics. Okay, more and more robots are taking the jobs of the humans in the industry. Okay, so if you want to control those robots, different sensors on those robots, so 5G is there for you. Okay, workplace and work safety may be significantly enhanced due to the technologies enabled by 5G. Okay, so if you are talking about the safety at the workplace, so you have installed different sensors. Okay, so you can control the operation of that sensors. For example, if you talk about a big factory, so you need a sensor, for example, with every machine. You want to control the operation of that machine. For example, you need temperature sensor that if that machine heated up, a warning message will be sent. Okay, or pressure sensor, you want location sensor. Okay, or you need weather sensor. For example, if you are talking about the supply chain, okay, that a product which is being prepared and it's coming to your home. Okay, so you need that information. So you need the sensor at every place. So that will be help, and that will be enabled by the 5G. Social impact. 5G has the ability to contribute significantly to society's well-being through reduced potential injuries and fatalities. Okay, for example, if you're using driving a car, and nowadays, like you have sensors in car. For example, you want to change the lane. Okay, so the sensor will let you know that you have a safe distance or not. Okay, so that will eventually will help us to reduce the road accidents. Okay, minimize the injuries. 5G is a key enabler to enhance infrastructure, promote sustainable industrialization, and foster innovation. Okay, so if you are, we are going for the future smart cars. Okay, we are going for the smart factories. Okay, so everything, okay, will be enabled by the 5G, and 5G will help us to speed up the innovation process. Okay, so if we talk about functional drivers, so functional drivers of the 5G are ultra reliable low latency communication. Okay, so you have very reliable network and it have very low latency. Low latency means very fast communication. So that is the basically defining driver of 5G. Okay, the second very important thing is defining driver of 5G is enhanced mobile broadband. Okay, mainly related to the artificial intelligence, mixed reality, and drone applications. Okay, for example, if you want to go for the mixed reality, virtual reality, gaming industry, the telemedicine, okay, so the reliable and low latency communication with higher bandwidth, okay, that will affect that thing. Okay, if we are moving towards the AI, artificial intelligence, which is actually being used almost everywhere now. Okay, so in artificial intelligence, basically you have to process a very large number of data. Okay, for example, you are at the airport and the airport authorities are scanning your face. Okay, and for example, just one passenger cannot be identified. Okay, so the airport authorities can scan the all people which are present at the airport. Okay, using artificial intelligence, they can detect that. Okay, that person is, for example, right now present at that mart, okay, or that shop. Okay, so they can connect that person immediately. For example, your flight is late, so come quickly. So instead of making general announcement, that person can be identified. So it will enhance the speed. It will enhance the services at the airport. Okay, so and that thing can be achieved with the 5G in the real-time applications. So let's watch another video. Basically, how 5G will impact societies and industries. Has shown us some applications of the 5G which will be used in the future. So if you talk about presently 5G in world, so basically the top 10 countries which can be listed by 5G, South Korea is on top, okay? So basically as of January 2020, commercial 5G networks has been deployed in 378 cities, okay, across 34 countries. And South Korea is the leader in that, okay? They have make the deployment of the 5G extensively as compared to the other countries in the world, okay? China is the second and US is on third, okay? So UAE is coming on 11 as of January 2020, okay? So UAE is becoming on the top 10%. If you talk about the 5G network in UAE, okay? So in UAE, 5G was available on May 13, 2019, okay? So Etisalat start providing the services of 5G in 2019, okay? And now Etisalat, Due and Virgin Mobile, they are actually making, establishing the 5G network. So this is just a map. It shows that the 5G is available in these places in UAE. So in this workshop, we have actually covered the basics about the 5G. What is the 5G? What are the different features of 5Gs? Understanding the main advantages of the 5G and impact of the 5G in industry and societies. And we have seen some real-time implementations that where the 5G is available in the world. So I have a very short quiz for you, okay? And for that quiz, I need the participation, okay? So if you can join again using this QR code. So if I get some like the participants, then we can start this quiz. So again, I would request the participants to scan this QR code and join this webinar so that we can start a small interactive quiz. Okay, I got 2 participants now. So you can either scan this or you can enter ahaslides.com, okay? And you can get your answer. And this is information, it will be appearing on the top of the slide. So you can join that also from here. So what does 5G stands for? So look at your mobile phone and you can pick up the right answer here. So those who want to join on the top, you can see that ahaslides.com/2fa95, okay? So 5G basically stands for the 5th generation of mobile technology. Well done. So I got 2 correct answers. So Rehan and Fatima, okay? Well done, Rehan and Fatima. Okay, okay, I got 3 players now. So let's see the second question. So the faster you answer, the more points you will get. What type of wavelength on the electromagnetic spectrum we use? Okay, so just click the answer from your mobile phone. So we actually use millimeter waves for the 5G operation. Third question. What are the important advantages? Okay, great. Okay, so 5G advantages are speed, coverage, and latency. Well done, all 4 of you. So Rehan is on top of the players. Okay, let's see the next question. So basically, the synonymous of the bandwidth is capacity. Okay, that is the correct answer. How fast is 5G? So the correct answer is 20 gigabit per second, not 200 megabit. Giga is higher data rate than mega. What is the massive MIMO? So good, participants. Okay, very good. I got 4 correct answers. So my massive technology in a cell tower that allows more connection. Second last question. What is latency? So I got 2 correct answers. The delay between an input and desired output, that is called latency. Last question. South Korea is actually leading in 5G, okay, not USA. USA is coming at number 3rd. China is the 2nd. Okay, so Rehan is the winner of this quiz. Well done, Rehan. Fatima, Saif, well done, all of you. Okay, thank you very much, everybody, for your attention. Now I'm open for questions. Okay. So do we have any question, Mr. Umar?
So far, no, doctor. There seems no questions.
Okay.
Thank you, doctor, for the session today. I think we're already done, right?
Yes. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining us today. Thank you very much, Mr. Umar. I think if there is no question, then we will stop here.
Yeah, we will end the session today. Thank you all for your participation. Thank you.
Thank you.